And we are live.
Hello. Perfect. So, hi everyone. Welcome to Sports Kati and new episode for the World Cup predictions or on build up to the World Cup. So, I'm Rohit Verma and with me I have Vaishak Krishnan. So, hi Vaishak, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Is the
What what's
excitement for the
what's
World
happening?
Cup starting to build up?
As you know, I mean, we have just discussed is it worth really watching World Cup? So yeah, I mean, I'm obviously interested to watch the football, but there's not much enthusiasm regarding the event anyway. I mean, let's see what happens on the field.
Yeah, in India, things are starting to, we can see a lot more excitement because we recently got the Z deal done, a new subscription for us in India. So, but nevertheless, people are starting to talk about the World Cup, and we are only 4 days away from the start of the World Cup. So, it's building. Anyways, so what are we going to discuss today? We'll quickly discuss about the host nations. We have three host nations this time, which is a rare thing, and we will see how we think they can perform, what our opinions are. So in the chat, do join in and tell us how you think they will be performing the host nations, which you think can be the best team to watch or follow, and also it might be a part of my prediction question in the later session. Anyways, that's the first topic. We will also be discussing about young players to watch out for because every World Cup is something where a new player comes in or a set of new players come in and shine. If you remember, way back in 2006, Ronaldo really marked his name. He was playing for United, but really people started taking notice across the world was when his performance in the World Cup. So I think it's a big picture here, big scene. Is this who's going to be the next Ronaldo, the Mbappe's, or the Messi's? Who's going to step up? So let's see what the young names are. And finally, I'm going to also introduce a small prediction contest where we both will be making certain predictions for the World Cup. And at the end of the tournament, I will go and see how we have done, who has predicted better throughout the tournament. And for people who are joining in, if you have your predictions for those contest, put in the chat. And if you regularly are putting and in time, that's before the match, I will take that also into account in our competition. So, having said that, that's what we want to discuss today. So, let's start with our host nations. So, Vaishak, off to you. Which of the host nations do you find the most eye catching of the three?
I mean, that is a very tough question. It's I mean, none of them are eye catching in the sense like they. I don't think they are anywhere near eye catching as usual, but I have to go with Mexico here because Mexico. I mean, historically, Mexico have been really strong teams over the last 10, 20 years, or even in the past. But unfortunately, that was not the case for a recent times. They had a small uh, what you call a decline, but I think now they are somewhat coming back. So I would love to see how is the new generation. They have gone through the transition, they have won the confederation, and I would really like to see how they play right now. As far as for USA and Canada, it goes like I'm more interested to see what the managers do, because it's Jesse Marsh and Pochettino. Marsh, the American for Canada, and Pochettino, Argentinian for USA. Really to see what they do, but I don't see much from USA or Canada because it's let's see what they can do. I mean, as they are the hosts, they have got groups which are not tough, but let's see. You're taking the notes, is it?
I was actually, taking a look at these teams. I know when I was looking at the teams, as you said, I have never seen Canada play a World Cup match before 2022 World Cup. So I was actually excited to see them play. And you as a Bundesliga fan will know Alfonso Davis. So in 2022 World Cup, I was looking at Alfonso Davis and then saying what Canada can do. So this time around, I was again looking at the team. Uh, from a player point of view, there are very handful of players who I know. But then what I was reading is that I know Marsh, the manager, because he used to be a Premier League manager at one point. And what I remember from him, in the Premier League outfit was that he was more of an attacking or attacking style of manager. And I hope if Canada is going to play that high pressing, high attack, because the lead style of football, where they're going to play the high pressing football, then maybe they might be good to watch. I want Canada to do well, so I am putting my money on or the team which I believe will be the most fun to watch as Canada. But then, yeah, let's see. I have one more on the host nations for you. Among these three teams, now this is a question which is going to come in the prediction contest. So, but I will ask it separately. But among the three teams of the groups, which all teams do you think will qualify?
Oh, uh, I do think Mexico will qualify, and I do think Canada will qualify, uh, as well as USA. I mean, it's much easier for them to qualify. But if there is one team that won't qualify, I think it could be USA. I think they can. USA can finish fourth in their group.
Interesting. I
Yeah,
Yeah, interesting. A very, very true point. I was actually looking at their group and I felt that, they have Paraguay in the group, Australia in the group, and I felt there is no weak team in the group. USA is 16th ranked in the world when I'm looking at it. Paraguay is the worst, I think, or Australia maybe 40, 47, around that. And no, 40 is Paraguay. Yeah, they're the worst. And Turkey is in the group. Turkey is a very good team. I think they're in the 20s. So I felt there was no weak team. And I also read a comment somewhere, the rating difference between USA and Paraguay is the same as France and England, which is for me close. So what you told is correct. I expect all three teams to qualify. If you ask me, I'm thinking all three teams to progress in their group. And now, anyways, because before we delve deeper, one
yeah.
last question on the host nations
No,
is that,
no, I think
yeah, sorry, go
no, I
ahead.
just clarification. I know I do agree with you. I do have, I mean, I have more probability the USA will qualify, but out of the three, if there is one that won't qualify and I have to put my money on it, then I will put on USA. But then it's the same thing. Most of these groups are tight. Even like South Africa or South Korea, they are not weak teams. So yeah, let's see. It's not easy for these teams, as you see, but when three teams are qualifying, there is nothing on the stock. So it's not tough that you can easily qualify as well, even if you play one bad match.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Because with the third team also qualifying, I think it makes it way more easier to qualify this time. I was telling you in the other day in the group saying you have to play over 72 matches just for
yeah,
eliminating 12 teams. It
yeah.
is for
It's,
me does not make sense. Anyways, coming to my last part of the host nations is that of these three teams, which will go the farthest? And this is also part of my prediction question, which is going to come. So, which team, host nation, is going to go farthest?
this will depend a lot on who they get on round of 32, right? So I don't have it in the back of my head who they are going to get, but I would still think Mexico is the strongest of the three. And I do think Mexico is the team that can do better than the others because they are going through the transition and they have become more of a team. And for USA, they're still relying on Pulisic, who's still who's not still. It's not the old Pulisic again. I don't know how long he will survive, and Davis is coming back from an injury for Canada, so I don't have much expectation from Canada and USA.
Okay. Mine is simple. I'll go straight for. But before that, I know there are a lot of people who watch our Premier League fans. I think Vaishak touched on a name called Pulisic. There's also USA has a lot of Premier League players. If people know Fulham defender Antoine Robinson and Crystal Palace defender Chris Richards play for
Just
USA. And
Bayern player was ex Bayern player.
oh, okay, another connection. And Tyler
Yeah.
Adams from Bournemouth also plays for who's an excellent player who also plays for USA. So USA has, if you are a Premier League fan, then it has good connections. Obviously, for Mexico, there is Raul Jimenez, who is playing there for Mexico. But
Who's
I think, yeah, he's a bit too old these days. And also Alvarez, Edson Alvarez from West Ham, who got relegated now, so no more Premier League team. But you get the point. They also play for Mexico. Talking about which team will progress the most, I am still. I think I'll go with Mexico. I have made my decision. I agree it has a lot of combinations, but I feel Mexico's biggest advantage is them being host nations, playing in conditions which are very different from other nations. Mexico's team of a group of South Africa, South Korea, Czech. These are teams which are going to come and struggle in the heat, is my prediction. And I feel Mexico will top the group. And the moment they top the group, the team that they are going to face in round of 16 will become relatively easier. And that means I believe they will make it to quarterfinals. And that's where I call it. I'm saying Mexico to make it to quarterfinals, and they will progress the most. For Canada and USA, I don't see beyond round of 16. So that's where I put it. Anyways, if we'll go to the next section. So anything to add on to the host nations, Vaishak?
no, nothing to add on. Nothing to add on.
Okay.
Yeah, but
So let's go to the
Mexico to quarterfinals is, I think, really brave. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see.
let's see. Yeah, that's my bold prediction for the day.
No,
So
I
let's
mean, even in 2002, South Korea did something similar. So yeah, to the same.
yeah, South Korea.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe something like that. Let's see. Yeah, because I believe, by the way, just again a fact for Mexico team. The current manager for Mexico, his name is Javier Aguirre. Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong. So he is managing Mexico for the third time, and he has a lot of experience. So the team of Mexico is maybe the players. If you look at them, they might not be the best over the years, but Javier Aguirre has with Mexico has played some good football, and I believe he will want to do one better than what he did in his previous two editions when he got knocked out with against USA in 2002, if I remember, and later on against Argentina in 2010, I believe. So I believe he will want to do better. So I think let's see what he does. Anyways, let's go to next topic, next round, which is players to watch out for, which I believe is the crux of this podcast. So both of us here have taken three players who we think are going to be the players who, when you as a fan watch and you are like, wow, he looks someone who can be the next big thing. We have not taken the standard names. No Mbappe's, no Lamine Yamal's, no real Harry Kane's or the big experienced players. We are going for the young, unknown or little known, not unknown, but little known stars who we think can use this World Cup to be the next big thing. So Vaishak, off to you. Who's your first player who you are going to name in this?
So I'm going with Kenan Yildiz. He's out injured, unfortunately. So he won't be playing the first match. He's a Turkish player. So he is a La Masia product. He has been in the Bayern Academy and then not getting enough care as he or attention that he wanted. So he moved to Juventus, and he was also eligible to play for Germany, and now he's playing for Turkey. And I think he's the best Turkish player. So even if he's injured, they are taking him, and they're waiting. When he will be back. And Kenan Yildiz is not supposed to be an unknown player. He's supposed to be a known player. He's only 21 years old, but he has been performing at the highest level for 3 years now for Juventus. He has been one of the best players for Juventus at the wings. And the problem is Juventus has not been doing good as well. So the fact is he has not got enough exposure. So when I say Kenan Yildiz, people don't know. And that is why I picked him. Because I looked at it and I tell people the name of Kenan Yildiz and their response is like, oh, who's this guy? And that is not supposed to be. So I do want to give a shout out to Kenan Yildiz, a player, as a Bayern fan, as a German fan. I really miss him. And it would have done a really good for both Bayern as well as German team if he had been with us.
Yeah, very good shout out. Someone I have not seen myself play. So you say he plays on the wing. Okay, interesting. I will go with my first player also as a winger in that case. Someone you know much more. I think you must have seen much more. So I'm going with Jan Diamonde, who is a 19-year-old winger, left winger mainly, who plays for Ivory Coast and also RB Leipzig. in the Bundesliga. So he scored 12 goals and had 8 assists in this Bundesliga season. And why I'm picking him is not just because he's having the output, but he is extremely fun to watch. I actually had watched very little of him, so I took an effort to go and see what he does, because he has been targeted by clubs such as Liverpool, PSG, because and big clubs are looking for him. Manchester United is looking at him. Big clubs are looking at him, and they're willing to pay at the rate of 80 million to 100 million. That's the amount I'm hearing. So I really was curious, what is this kid doing? So I went and watched. If you have not watched him, I will say go watch the kid play. It's beautiful to see his dribbling skills. I'm not sure how much he will be able to show this in the heat in USA in the World Cup, but I'm sure if Ivory Coast, they have a very tough group. If they are to progress in the World Cup, then he will need to really show his skills. And you, as a fan, will definitely get to see his skills if Ivory Coast is going to get through. So that's my pick for the first pick for a winger is Yan Diamonde. And who is your next Vaishak?
Yeah, so I mean, I do agree with Yan Diomande. I mean, I have watched Yan Diomande for the whole season. Yeah, he is interesting. He started a little late, but then he progressed much quickly. I'm going for another Leipzig. I wanted to go for another Leipzig player who started much faster than Diomande, which is Antonio Nusa, who plays for Norway. But I have decided not to go for him. I'm instead going for a Leverkusen player called as Ibrahim Maza. Uh, and al- and the same thing as you said for Diomande, I am not sure Ibrahim Massa will progress a lot. He is playing for Algeria. They have Argentina and Austria also in their group, and it's not going to be easy for Algeria. But he is really exciting to watch. And again, he's not gone like 10 goals or 10 assists or something. He has the margin of 6 goals. I mean, it's single digit goals and assists. So it's not big high performer, but he's really exciting to watch because of his dribbling skills and everything that he brings onto the pitch. So the name is Ibrahim Maza.
A quick question, Vaishak. What position does Ibrahim Maza play in?
He plays mostly as the number 10, um,
Okay.
and he can also play in the wings. So he's pretty versatile. So anywhere behind is where he's generally employed. But I think he would be playing the number 10 for Leverkusen. But I think for Algeria he might be going for the wings, right wing probably.
Interesting. Again, someone I little know about. So when he said number 10, I'll pick my number 10 then. So I don't know whether he's going to be a sure starter, but I believe he will be, because they call him the next Messi of Argentina. Okay. And that is Nico Paz. He's young. He's, I think, pretty well known compared to the names so far we have told. Because firstly, he plays for, I mean, he's actually from Real Madrid, but he plays for Como, very beautiful town, And so he plays for Como, and he's playing as an attacking midfielder, as a number 10. Now, he's a versatile player, as Vaishak told. He can play as a striker if required, but mainly he's predominantly a number 10. And in Argentina, as I mentioned earlier, he's called the successor of Messi. I don't know whether he has reached that potential yet, but nevertheless, I think in this World Cup, again, Argentina, much more stronger team than any of the other teams we mentioned so far. So Argentina is going to progress, and I'm sure you're going to see a lot of Nico Pass. And what's going to be interesting is that Real Madrid is going through a bit of turmoil and a big World Cup for him. And I can see, whoever the new owner of Real Madrid or the CEO of Real Madrid is going to bring Pass back into Real Madrid setup. So let's see what's going to happen with his career. But I feel that's the one lookout player for me in number 10 position. So Vaishak, who's your last player?
So I'm going for Nico O'Reilly from Manchester City. Again, so just like Nico Paz people might have noticed. I don't think Nico O'Reilly is way unknown if you are a Premier League follower. But for people who don't follow, Nico O'Reilly is still a bit unknown. And I think with Nico Paz again, this is and again another player of that high echelon. This is not a normal player who's from a smaller team and hey, just watch him. I mean, that team does not have much good players, but this one is interesting from there. I think Nico O'Reilly plays for England, so he has to shine above everyone to be one of the players who catches your attention. and given his position is left back or sometimes maybe in the midfield, he might be starting as a left back. It's not easy for you to watch England and say, "Oh, that Nico O'Reilly kid is good." But I think maybe if you don't know the name, Nico O'Reilly is one to watch for from England.
Good. And Nico O'Reilly, for Premier League fans, he won the Premier League Young Player of the Year award. So, and definitely Premier League fans will know him. Good young player to watch. So, you went for a defender. I'm going the extreme opposite end because I was thinking there are a lot of good defenders. There were some big midfielder names I had in my mind. But I felt when you watch World Cup, you watch it for the flair and style. This player I'm going to name might not even start for Brazil because Brazil squad is always big. But then I watched him live. I was lucky to watch him live, and I felt he has big talents of. And I feel like he once he comes onto the pitch, definitely people will take notice. I'm talking about Endrick from Brazil, who is also a Real Madrid player. So already a big name player. Just to give some background, Endrick, when he broke out, he was a very big name. This is maybe 2-3 years back. If I remember right, he was the youngest player to score for Real Madrid in the Champions League when he scored against Stuttgart in two couple of years back.
Yeah.
So he is a big name, but then he got some injury, and obviously Real Madrid squad as it is, he was struggling to really break into it after the injury. So what he did was to get back into Brazil squad because he debuted for Brazil some time back, but post injury to show his fitness to get back into Brazil squad, he decided to go on loan to play for Lyon. And that's where I was lucky. When I went to watch Leo match, I got to watch him, and I can tell you firsthand, kid is a star. And he already scored, I think, 8 goals, 8 assists for Lyon. That's the stat I remember in half a season. In 6 months, he did that, and he's a superstar. So he might not start for Brazil because Brazil has a wide squad, but he has been picked is because he has big talent. And even if he comes in for 30 minutes, he's going to come and make some decisive changes for the match. And Brazil is going to progress, that's for sure. I'm wearing a Brazil jersey here today because I believe they are going to go deep into the World Cup, and he will score some important goals. So do watch out for Endrick. That is the last name I have here, and that's the last name for the session. Any other thing? Any other special recommendations, special mentions for
I
Vaishak?
I don't think any. I mean, any comments have come. So no one has recommended anything. But apart from that, we were probably going to name Leonard Karl here, but unfortunately he got injured. So again, just like Nico O'Reilly, he plays for Germany. It's hard for him to catch attention when you are playing for a star-studded team. When other players are not, they are still at the high level of their career. But I thought Leonard Karl would be someone who would catch an attention in this German squad, who are very afraid to shoot. They do everything except shooting. They just pass around, and then no one shoots the ball. And Leonard Karl is someone who can shoot. So unfortunately, he's not playing. So yeah, we will see the same Germany who will do everything apart from scoring goals this season. this time. Yeah.
Okay, let's see what Germany does. Okay, so maybe we'll come to the last section of our podcast today, and that's quick fire. So this is going to start. So for all the viewers, this is where you also can take part. So even if you're not watching it live, even if you're watching it after, if you think you know the answers for the questions I'm going to ask or what the predictions you're going to make, put that in the comment. And if your answer is correct, I will give you points for that. But please ensure that you make the comment before the match happens. Only then I will check the timestamp, and only if the match happens, comment happens before the match, then you get the points. So both of us are going to make our predictions now here live, so that we cannot make our changes then. So Vaishak, the first question for you: who will win the inaugural match, Mexico versus South Africa?
Mexico. Yeah, I'm going for Mexico here. Yeah,
Mexico.
sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
and I'm
sure,
going for
sure.
Mexico. So I am capturing your comment here.
Yeah.
Mexico. Okay, that's
That's
good.
not tough.
It's easy one.
Yeah.
Easy one. Then I'll give you a slightly tougher one. How many total goals in the first match? So when I say total goals, it means if it is 2-1, it is 3. If it is 3-0, it is still 3. So go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I go with the standard average of a football match, which is 3. Yeah, that's three is the median. Yeah, yeah, I go with three. Yeah.
I'm going slightly adventurous. I'm thinking it's going to be a hard fought match in the heat, and there'll be two goals. I'm expecting 2-0 margin, but I'm not committing to that. I'm saying two goals. Okay. The next one is next host nation. What is your prediction on Canada versus Bosnia?
Oh, that's again another easy one. Bosnia.
I'm going Canada. I I told you I believe in Canada this time. So let's go Canada. If Canadian fans watching, then I'm with you. So next one is USA versus Paraguay.
That's tough. That is tough one. I
You can go
I
draw
do
if you want.
think I do think yeah. There is this one. It has, I think it has a draw written in it, probably. But if there is someone winning, it would be it would be could be Paraguay. I think it's a draw. Yeah, for prediction, I go with a draw. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going for again a host win. USA is going to win this. Let the host countries win. Let the host countries celebrate. So I'm going for USA for this one. And the last question. So I picked 5 questions for the first round. So these are the 5 matches that will complete before our next podcast. So last one is I would say the most hyped match of the first weekend possibly. It's two big countries playing. So the question is Brazil versus Morocco. Who is going to be the winner?
That's I do think Brazil have enough in them to beat Morocco. Um, I mean, I'm putting my money on Brazil to do this one. So I don't have enough confidence on Brazil as much as you do, uh, because I don't think Brazil still has. I don't think Ancelotti is someone who could have sorted Brazil's individuality and things coming out. He's someone who's like a Real Madrid manager who comes together and say, "Oh, guys, go and express." And I don't think this kids from Brazil is good enough to just go and express and win it. They are not there at that level, and I don't think Ancelotti can make a team out of it. Like, you do this, you do that, and make a structure out of it. I don't think Ancelotti is that kind of a manager who brings um, who actually develops the team in terms of tactical and strategic developments, which Scaloni did with Argentina. So I'm still waiting on this one. I mean, I'm not sold out that just the flair, the Brazilian flair is as big enough to win. But yeah, this Brazilian flair should do good enough against Morocco.
I've
Yeah.
gone for Brazil without doubt. So that's my team. By the way, this particular question, every round will have 15-point question. So every right answer is 10 points. This specific one will get you 15 points because Brazil versus Morocco is a tough one. I think it is the match of the weekend. If anyone wants to watch one match for the weekend, then it's Brazil versus Morocco. Unfortunately for Indian fans, it's at 3:30 in the morning, if I'm right. So it might be slightly tough for you to watch. Even in Europe, I think it's 12 in the night. So tough time, but if you can, do watch this match. And that's pretty much from my side. Vishak, anything else before we conclude here?
I mean, sadly, we don't have any comments right now. So yeah, we may have to wait for the video to go live and released, and let's see. We hopefully there is something to respond. Uh, but yeah, but if you missed out any players, if there is any players that you want to give a shout out, give. I mean, we just limited the numbers to 3-3 so that we finish it over there. But there has to be a ton of players, really interesting. And so yeah, that's it from me.
Yeah. Thank you. So
Okay then.
next session, what you can expect here is that we will have the World Cup by then up and ready, and it will be running.
Yeah. Yeah. So meet
Okay,
you
so
once the
we'll be
World
up
Cup
and running.
starts.
Yes. Okay, so see you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.